From Point Lookout, Missouri, this is Midwest Sports Saturday. We continue along on this, of course, Friday afternoon from the NCCAA, the national tournament. And pool play is continuing on day 2. Right now, Columbia International is on top in the third set and trying to close out Campbellsville. And you can watch that on the NCCAA.org, THENCCAA.org. But I want to say thank you also to today's sponsor, Elite Medical Billing Specialists. You know, the folks at Elite Medical Billing Specialists, they offer a personalized and customized approach to handling everyday medical business needs, a full-service administrative addition to any medical practice. And one of the things I like to talk about is the fact that Elite Medical Billing Specialists employ certified coders and billing specialists that treat your business as if it was their own. Elite Medical Billing Specialists, keeping your business in rhythm. Good afternoon again. I'm Joey McWilliams. Glad to get to be with you here on this Friday afternoon. I'm joined now by someone from the NCCAA, Judy Fox, who is the chaplain at the NCCAA, and specifically during these NCCAA championships, you get to have a chance to visit with all these teams. How's that go?
You know, I really enjoy it. It's sort of a on the side for me. In my real life, I am the founder and president of a nonprofit ministry organization. But the NCCAA has had a tremendous part of my life and my own journey, and so it's really an amazing opportunity to give back to an organization, to Dan and Kelly Wood. Dan is the executive director. They've been good friends of mine since the 90s, and they're like family. The NCCAA has been foundational in shaping the direction that my career has been able to go, that gives me the opportunity to impact lives in so many places. And so to be able to still connect with athletes and coaches and the families and enjoy the heat of competition without the pressure that they're all facing, it's just a beautiful chance to give back and speak into their lives as well. So,
well, it's been very exciting here today, yesterday.
Yes.
I know the national semis and the championship will take place from the College of the Ozarks gymnasium here, and
That's
that will be
right.
on Saturday. Judy, I do want to talk about your other business, but even talking about the kids here first, and you mentioned that it's the athletes, the student athletes out there. You get a chance to visit with each of these teams then and talk to them about, things that can make a difference in their lives spiritually.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And so we kind of leave it up to the coaches. Sometimes, you know, I was a coach for many years at a high level, and so I understand this is a national championship competition for them. So we leave it up to them, certainly encourage them to take advantage of the opportunity to have an outside voice come in. It's kind of like, you know, I learned coaching that, you know, mom and dad can tell their kid one thing, but when coach says it, it's a little different. And the same thing translates over. When coach says it, it's one way, but when an outside voice comes in and speaks into their lives too, things of eternal value, that can really make it just says it differently and they hear differently. So yes, we encourage the teams to set aside a devotional time with the chaplain. That would be me in this case. But at the same time, understanding they might have people locally that they want speaking in, or they may have planned something already with their team. Sometimes schedules don't allow it. But I spend as much time as we can either with a team in more of a official time frame kind of thing, or as much as I can encourage athletes at the hotels or families or, you know, the coaches just throughout, spending time with them one-on-one, small groups, and just enjoying, the chance to encourage and hopefully have a word that empowers them as well.
Right. So. Well, there are so many things in the Word that you can find that will empower. Speaking with Judy Fox right here, talk about then, you know, your business as well. Talk about Ignite. First off, I just like the name. I think that's cool. It
is really cool, and it was definitely a God-inspired name. It was actually an assistant of mine years ago who mentioned, you know, hey, you ought to think about the word ignite. And I was, unbeknownst to her, I had been sound asleep when she woke me up with that phone call. So I kind of said, yeah, we can talk about that. And she thought I hated it. And what she had no idea was that this whole vision that had been brewing in me for 14 years prior all came together in that word. And it means to start something, to start a fire. If you're igniting something, you're starting your engine. You know, and so to be able to light a fire, and when I look at how God has used that name. You know, we took the first volleyball ever from the United States to Nicaragua, first women's basketball. We first athletes to go back into Besan, Russia after the tragedy that happened there in 2004. I could go on and on, first. People can look at websites to read bullet points, but I think that when we get to ignite hope, you know, ignite generational cycles of hope, one life at a time, through this universal language called sport. And that, honestly, is hope for today, and it's hope for tomorrow, and it's hope for eternity. So taking those relevant testimonies of people who've overcome things, showcasing those, giving them a platform to see that there is purpose to every step they have endured, but when they get to translate that to someone else's life, and both are empowered. So we do that through practical skills, through curriculum, through special events, and just coming alongside organizations and individuals who are ministering to those needs, and those needs are greater now than they ever have been. So
very much so.
Powerful.
Very much so. Just a really quick update, as you might have heard the music change here and in the background, which means that Columbia International has gone ahead and got the win, swept Campbellsville. A bit of an upset there, a 3 seed and a 2 seed. So small upset, but I think the bigger thing is that Campbellsville already had the loss today, the loss to Trinity International. So they're not in good shape at the moment and moving on. Meanwhile, Columbia International, very good shape. They'll be playing again tomorrow. One other thing, too, I would ask you then, well, two other things. One is, how do they get in touch with you? You talked about you can go to the website for bullet points. What's the website? How do they get in touch?
Thank you for that. The website would be www.igniteinternational.org. Igniteinternational.org. You have to write the whole thing out. So
you have to do that sometimes. URLs.
That's right.
People take the ones we want.
We practice we let you practice your spelling too.
Okay.
So it's we keep things very practical here.
Well, let me ask you then about the NCCAA. Of course, getting to be here now, and you were talking about the fact that coaches can take advantage of having a chaplain. They may not want to, but you get to represent a good organization, and there's quality in that, quality in the name, and being a part of however long you have to be here for your time. I know there's 3 days of competition, but I do know more than 3 days goes into this. And so you're here for a little while. What's it like getting to see the community and just represent?
I'll tell you what, this is the third time that I've had the opportunity with the NCCAA to come to Branson, to Point Lookout, and at College of the Ozarks. And this entire place to me is amazing. I grew up in Pennsylvania, so it's nice to get out of the Dallas suburbia and enjoy nature and enjoy roads that have windy curves and the lake that's so close. But what I have found is the friendliness and the welcoming of this area is just really something special. I've always heard so many wonderful things about Branson, Missouri in the past, and I had never, until I started coming with the NCCAA, specifically to College of the Ozarks a couple years ago, I knew of the school but had not been personally the opportunity to be touched by it, but this place has become very, very special to us. And even as we look at our domestic initiative, which would be it's part of the whole organization, reaching into the needs of intergenerational trauma and breaking those cycles of trauma, this is actually an area that we would want to have the opportunity to explore avenues by which that we could bring some assistance in that way to this area too. So this is this entire community has become a place that's very special to me. I know to the NCCAA that is true, and I would say that it is for me personally. I'm just excited to be here and be a part of it. So thank you for the way that you all welcome these teams and welcome every single one of us that is part of this championship competition.
Well, there are a couple more matches that are going to take place today, and make sure I get my schedule right. Coming up next, Judson and Warner, a couple of teams that haven't played yet today, so this will be their third match for the week. And then the nightcap tonight, Trinity International and College of the Ozarks. Now, on my sheet of paper, it says that this match is supposed to start at 4:30.
It's
looking at
4:30
the clock
somewhere.
on the wall. Yeah, it's 4:30 somewhere, but it's
4:30
not
somewhere.
at Point Lookout.
That's right,
And
that's
so these
right.
next two matches are going to be a little bit off schedule, just a little, and that's all right because they're going to keep playing till everything gets done. But that's what's
right.
going on. Don't forget, you can catch these matches at the NCCAA.org. Check that out. You can watch it live there. A good broadcast from the NCCAA. You won't be disappointed in getting to watch your favorite team play in this championship. So Columbia International in good shape to be there tomorrow. Mid-America Christian will be there tomorrow.
That's right.
And then we'll find out a little bit more after these next two matches take place. Judy,
That's
thank
right.
you so much for
Thank you.
taking some time with us here on Midwest Sports Saturday on a Friday today. But we're having fun with our live show here from Point Lookout, and we appreciate it and look forward to get to promote the NCCAA some more.
Thank you so
And
much.
Ignite International.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be with you.
You're
Certainly enjoy it. Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Let's take a break, and we'll be back, I believe, one more time here from Point Lookout here in just a moment. God bless you. Keep watching Midwest Sportsnet.